The Navy's daring mission to salvage a sunken aircraft from the ocean depths took a surprising turn. After successfully raising the plane, a startling discovery was made that defied belief. A sudden disturbance on the sonar equipment shattered the tranquil morning aboard the USS Orion. Lieutenant Mark Ramos, the sonar operator, adjusted the equipment, now fully alert. He had been tracking the signature of a mock submarine set up for the training exercise, but the new blip on the screen wasn't part of the script. The sonar flickered again, showing an anomaly in the otherwise empty expanse of the Atlantic Ocean. "Captain, you'll want to see this," Ramos called, his voice tinged with both curiosity and concern. Captain Sarah Bennett, overseeing the operation from the bridge, immediately responded to the tone in his voice. She hurried down and stood beside Ramos, her gaze fixed on the sonar display. The anomaly was a large metallic object, clearly out of place against the natural seafloor. Intrigued but cautious, Bennett made a quick decision to shift the focus of the exercise to investigate. "Let's find out what's down there," she ordered, instructing the crew to prepare for a closer look. Dr. Emily Chen, a naval historian on board for research, joined them, her interest piqued by the possible historical implications of the find. As the USS Orion hovered over the target, the tension among the crew rose. They deployed an unmanned underwater vehicle UUV fitted with cameras and sonar mapping equipment to explore the site. The first images were grainy, but as the UUV's lights adjusted, the outline of an aircraft slowly materialized from the ocean depths. The crew's eyes widened in disbelief. What had started as a routine exercise had suddenly turned into a real discovery. They had no idea that more surprises lay ahead. "A plane? Here?" Dr. Chen muttered, her brow furrowing as she quickly consulted oceanic charts and historical flight logs. There was no record of any aircraft missing in this part of the Atlantic. As the UUV sent back clearer images, the mystery deepened. The aircraft appeared mostly intact, its fuselage preserved by the cold, salty waters. Faded but still visible, a logo on the side of the plane was partially obscured by marine growth. Dr. Chen's hurried search through records revealed it was a commercial airliner from the 1960s, lost in a storm and never recovered. Captain Bennett ordered the recovery of the airplane's black box and any identifiable items, hoping to uncover the cause of the crash. The dive team prepared for descent into the depths. As they approached the aircraft, they found the cockpit sealed, not just by corrosion, but by external metal clamps. This suggested someone had deliberately sealed it after the crash. After consulting with Naval Command and Dr. Chen, Bennett authorized opening the cockpit. Inside, the divers discovered a bolted waterproof safe instead of the expected flight instruments or remains. Back aboard the USS Orion, the crew gathered as Bennett and Dr. Chen opened the safe, revealing preserved documents and photographs. Among them was a flight manifest listing names of prominent individuals not associated with any known records. This prompted a flurry of communication with the Navy and historians, suggesting the flight was tied to significant geopolitical events of the 1960s. Realizing they had stumbled upon a historical enigma, Bennett and her team prepared for a deeper exploration of the aircraft. As the divers descended again, battling strong currents, they neared the submerged plane, the mystery of its origin and fate looming larger with each step. Inside the aircraft, diver Jessica Morales noticed something odd, a briefcase chained to a seat. Its presence seemed out of place, suggesting someone had gone to great lengths to secure it. Carefully, the team cut the chain to preserve any potential forensic evidence. In the cargo hold, they uncovered another surprise, a hidden compartment beneath the floor panels, cleverly concealed. Inside, they found old radio equipment, far too modern for the plane's era. As the dive was wrapping up, Lee discovered a sealed envelope inside the pilot's logbook, marked "Confidential" in a hurried scrawl. This hinted at deeper secrets, not just about the flight, but also its true purpose. When the divers surfaced, they were met with anxious faces. Captain Bennett and Dr. Chen were eager to analyze the new finds: the briefcase, hidden compartment, outdated radio gear, and confidential envelope. Together, they painted a picture of a flight that was anything but ordinary. Just as the items were being secured for transport, A brief technical issue disrupted the ship's communication system, raising suspicions about the sensitive nature of what they had uncovered. The timing was uncanny. As the USS Orion headed back to shore, Captain Bennett knew this was only the beginning. She convened a meeting with her senior officers and Dr. Chen to plan the next steps. Back at the naval base, they coordinated with the National Archives and FAA to trace the plane's origin. Cross-referencing serial numbers revealed the aircraft was a commercial airliner that had disappeared on a transatlantic flight from Paris to New York, its existence erased from public records. Their investigation uncovered that the flight had carried several VIPs, including a prominent scientist known for his work on nuclear fusion. This discovery hinted at possible espionage or a covert operation, explaining the extreme secrecy surrounding the flight's disappearance. The briefcase recovered from the aircraft was examined in a secure facility, revealing encrypted messages and a strange mechanical device with an unknown function. The enigmatic content suggested the passengers might have been involved in covert operations rather than simply being victims of an accident. Simultaneously, Dr. Chen scrutinized the confidential envelope from the pilot's logbook. The letter inside revealed the pilot's concerns about the mission's safety and legality, and his fear of dire consequences if their true objectives were exposed. This personal account contradicted the official narrative of a storm-related loss, hinting at a cover-up by higher authorities. The team knew they needed to proceed with caution to avoid attracting undue attention from powerful entities. The investigation took a surprising turn when the old radio equipment was found to have communicated with a known Soviet spy ship. This connection suggested Cold War espionage might be linked to the flight's secrecy. With the mystery gaining attention, Captain Bennett received permission for a comprehensive recovery of the aircraft from the Atlantic. The operation involved Navy divers, maritime archaeologists, and forensic experts, using advanced lifting technology and underwater robots to carefully raise the aircraft while preserving potential evidence. However, just as the recovery was about to begin, a foreign government intervened, claiming the aircraft carried diplomatic cargo and demanding the suspension of the operation under international treaties. This legal challenge led to a temporary halt and urgent diplomatic negotiations. During this pause, a team member reviewing sonar data discovered an anomaly near the crash site. This led to the discovery of a small sunken submersible containing photographic equipment and film rolls, suggesting it might have been on a reconnaissance mission related to the flight. Back on the USS Orion, forensic analysts identified the mechanical device from the briefcase as an early data storage unit listing code-named Cold War projects, indicating it was part of an intelligence-gathering effort. The evidence continued to unravel in increasingly complex and concerning ways. The recovery of the airplane resumed after diplomatic assurances were made regarding the handling of sensitive materials. As the aircraft was lifted from the ocean floor, a structural failure revealed a hidden compartment in the tail section. Inside were containers marked with biohazard symbols, raising immediate concerns. These containers, dated to the Cold War era, suggested the plane might have been involved in a biological research mission. Captain Bennett convened an emergency meeting with her officers and scientific team, and a specialized biohazard unit was brought in. Initial tests showed the containers did not hold deadly pathogens but degraded samples of a now-extinct plant known for its medicinal properties, sparking interest from pharmaceutical companies and researchers. One company claimed patents related to the plant, leading to a legal dispute over the samples. As legal debates unfolded, the photographic equipment from the sunken submersible was developed. The images showed the aircraft in mid-flight and the loading of cargo, implicating several unacknowledged military bases and suggesting an international operation. Dr. Chen discovered correspondence hidden in the aircraft's lavatory paneling between the pilot and an unknown party, hinting at coercion and threats. The decrypted messages from the mechanical device revealed a covert operation called Eden's Vault, aimed at collecting botanical specimens to address a predicted famine in the 1960s. Captain Bennett now faced the complex task of managing the geopolitical and ethical implications of the recovery. With global attention focused on the USS Orion and its cargo, an international scientific summit was convened to decide the fate of the plant samples. balancing pharmaceutical interests with public health concerns. A surprising consensus emerged when genetic researchers from multiple nations agreed to create an open-source database for the genetic information, ensuring global access to the sample's benefits. This decision helped ease tensions. Meanwhile, the pilot's hidden correspondences led to a separate investigation, revealing that he had survived the crash and lived in South America under a new identity. His secure video testimony confirmed government pressures and threats. Additionally, analysts decoded the last message from the old radio equipment, uncovering a list of planned but unexecuted covert operations. This led to classified briefings with current officials, prompting a review of all Cold War-era operations for potential declassification. The aerial photographs resulted in posthumous honors for the submersible's crew, who had died capturing crucial evidence. Their families were invited to a memorial service where the photographs were displayed, finally recognizing their sacrifice. Thanks to Captain Bennett and her crew, a congressional hearing was held to reveal the full extent of the discoveries, including the aircraft and its implications. Captain Bennett's efforts also led to the creation of a Naval Historical Transparency Project aimed at uncovering and disclosing forgotten military operations to foster transparency and trust between the military and the public. Thank you for joining us on this remarkable journey. We look forward to your thoughts on the Navy's incredible discovery in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more fascinating updates.